And now we're going to stretch the leg muscles. We'll focus on stretching the upper leg muscles. First, the back of the thigh, the hamstrings, then the inner thighs, and then the outside of the thighs. For this, it's helpful to have a belt handy. Make a loop. Like so, and we'll put this loop right over the arch of your foot. But before we start the stretches, I would like to mention a few of the key points to remember to stretch properly. Less is always best. That's number one. So don't pull too hard, because when we pull too hard, the muscle tears, which is the opposite of the stretch that we really want to accomplish. Number two, if you feel an intense stretch, then you have pulled too hard. So release the leg and start over. Number three, begin from the point of no stretch so that you can feel when you do have a stretch. And number four, hold there. Don't time it, don't count. Just hold there until the stretch goes away. If you've pulled too hard, it will not go away quickly, and then it's best to release the leg and to start over. I will remind you of all of these 4 points as we do the stretches. And please remember to breathe always as you stretch. Pull the navel to the spine. Bring the right knee to the chest and give it a hug. Place your loop over the arch of the foot. Tighten the loop just a tiny bit. Stretch your leg up. Depending on the flexibility level you have, if your legs and back are flexible, then you can bring your leg upright. If not, you may have to start all the way down here, which is fine. Make sure you have a long enough belt. Then next, position your arms. The arms are not supposed to work for these stretches. They don't even hold the weight of your leg. Hopefully, you don't have to start that low. If you start about, above the halfway point to the floor, say the halfway, the 45-degree angle with the floor is here. If you start a little higher, you can gently guide the leg with the belt and with a little bit of work in the arms. But don't hold on for dear life, and definitely relax your shoulders. Tuck the shoulder blades down the back. Stretch your arms. Walk your hands on the belt as high as you need to so your arms are straight. And from that point of no tension, guide the leg up and back. You may have to walk your hands higher still, until you begin to feel a tiny amount of stretch in the back of the thigh, mid-thigh, not behind the knee. If you feel it behind the knee, then bend the knee some. Bend the knee some more if you have to. If you feel it in the calf over here, then you're pulling your toes down most likely and too forcefully. So your foot should be relaxed. And your foot is in alignment, toes, heel, in alignment with the knee, in alignment with your hip joint, just in from the outside of the hip. From here, gently guide your leg up and back. Feel a little bit of stretch. Take a deep breath. Breathe out. Another deep breath. Breathe out. Then release the leg. Start over. Guide the leg up and back. Don't pull it towards your chest. Up and back, feel a little bit of stretch and hold it there. Again, remember to relax your knee, to soften the knee if you feel the stretch behind the knee. You feel a little bit of stretch, hold it till the stretch goes away. Usually, 2 deep breaths is enough. Now, this is the second time we're doing the stretch. If you have time for more, release the stretch, do it again. If you do not, we'll continue with the inner thigh stretch. Without lifting the buttocks off the floor, dip your leg to the side slowly, put your elbow down at some point, and feel a little bit of stretch in the inner thigh. Once again, keep the other hip down. Take your free hand if you wish, and use it to anchor down the hip so that your thigh only dips and your buttocks do not lift. Same rule applies. Don't go too far. Breathe. When the stretch has disappeared, dip a little lower, but only if it went away. If it didn't, bring up the leg and then drop it again. Feel a little bit of stretch. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Now we'll stretch the outer thigh. For this, we need the left leg straight. As you bring the leg upward, guide it across the body and down. Dipping the leg down means that eventually you should get a stretch that starts near the hip and goes about halfway towards the knee. If you do not feel it at this angle, you may need to move the leg a little further away from your chest, and this is generally the case if you feel it in the hamstring by now, back of the thigh. If you don't feel it there, you may need to go further, or you may need to come closer to your chest. Just keep working through these range of choices until you find the right spot for you. Relax your leg completely. Let it drop over the body while your buttocks remain on the floor. You can use your free hand to guide your hip to weigh it down. Breathe into the stretch. Let gravity do the work for you in this case. Your elbow is out to the side and it's helping you support the leg. And if you bend the elbow, hopefully you'll use the upper arm muscles to help support the leg weight, and not your wrist, and not your elbow, and not your shoulder. Back up. Now, hug the knee to chest, and we'll do the whole series on the left leg. Foot down on the mat, navel to the spine. Bring the knee to the chest, hug it with both hands. Take your loop, place it over the arch of the foot, straighten the leg upward, walk your hands to wherever you need to be. You may be here, which is fine. You may be up higher, which is great. Make sure that your legs are straight. If you can, hold it straight. And if you cannot, you bend the knee. That will give you hopefully no tension behind the kneecap. We want the stretch to be in the middle of the thigh.